Our next segment we're going to talk about real quick is going to be the good old Rust Armorer. Okay, the chick with the guns on the set of Rust, that Alec Baldwin film where he shot and killed the cinematographer. Let's see. Rust. This is from Reuters. Rust Armorer sentenced to 18 months in fatal shooting by Alec Baldwin. That ain't her. That's the judge. Santa Fe, New Mexico, April 15th. Hannah
Gunderson. Oh. No, wait. That's Gutierrez.
That's not news.
The chief weapons handler for the Western movie Rust was sentenced to 18 months in prison on Monday in the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, who was shot when actor Alec Baldwin was handling a gun during the film's production in 2021. Let's see, in March, I hate that little blue thing. In March, Gutierrez, 27, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter for mistakenly loading a live round into a revolver Baldwin was using on a Santa Fe, New Mexico movie set. You alone turn a safe weapon into a lethal weapon, Judge Mary Marlowe Summer told Gutierrez as she handed down the sentence. In video calls and the courtroom during the hearing, Hutchins' friends from the film industry paid tribute to her creativity and kindness. They also lambasted Gutierrez's breaches in firearms safety protocol. I struggle to deal with this repeatedly being called an accident because it was not an accident, it was negligent, said Jen White, a film industry colleague. The shooting, which stunned Hollywood, is believed to be the first time in modern times that a member of a film crew or cast was killed by a live round accidentally loaded into a gun. Baldwin's trial is set for July 10th after a grand jury indicted him on a charge of involuntary manslaughter in January. Gutierrez's lawyer, Jason Bowles, had requested she be given probation, but prosecutors argued for a full 18 months due to the lack of contrition. I beg you, please don't give me more time, Gutierrez told the court, adding that her heart ached for Hutchinson's family. The jury has found me at fault for this tragedy, but that doesn't make me a monster. That makes me human. In a video call from Kiev, the Ukraine-born cinematographer's mother mourned her daughter's death and her young grandson, Andros, being left without a mother. It's the hardest thing to lose a child, said Olga Solovi, whose comments were translated into English in subtitles. Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey pointed to the phone calls by Gutierrez from jail in which she said the jurors were idiots. The judge had been paid off, and she continued to blame Baldwin and others for the shooting. Okay. All right, so let's kind of break this down a little bit. I'm talking with a buddy of mine who's asking my thoughts on it as a filmmaker, as someone who kind of can, look at it at a different perspective, maybe, or someone who can take the time and kind of, do a little research on some stuff. So I don't have it all right. I never will. But I myself am a filmmaker. I said that before. I'll say it again, not as a bragging thing, but to kind of paint a picture of, some of where I'm coming from. If y'all hear me sniffling, it's allergy season. I'm sorry. We have used a plethora of fake guns on our films. Fake guns. I got one laying around here. Plastic fake guns. They don't shoot anything except for maybe little plastic pellets or BBs, and we don't even load those. We just, it's just for the aesthetics, just for the looks. There was one time I think that we ever had a real gun. That's because, I don't know, the other one broke or we just needed one and thought of it at the last minute. So we did have one. Now I will say this. When we used it, I, the cinematographer, my buddy John, who's the director, the owner of the gun, and the person that was going to be handling it all confirmed that it was unloaded completely. Magazine out, chamber cleared. We didn't even put the magazine back in. We didn't have to see the bottom of it. Okay, it was just, again, we weren't shooting it at anybody. It was just an aesthetics thing. That was it. Did it at one point have live rounds in it? Of course it did. But we went through a checks and balances before anyone felt comfortable doing it. And we all agreed, like, okay, we're cool. And this is coming from, again, I'm in Georgia. Every single one of those four people that I talked about, me, John, the guy who owned the gun, the guy that was going to hold the gun, we've all shot guns plenty of times, right? I just talked the other week about me going to get me a new concealed carry. Two of those people, no, I take it back. Yeah, no, two of them were in the military, active, and then the other one owned the gun. So, I mean, everyone knew how to handle a firearm correctly. And we, of course, we checked it. We made sure it was safe. Now, I've never worked on a large set, so I've never had an armorer. Again, I've never had to deal with this kind of thing. But at the end of the day, everyone's responsible for their job. If it's my job to pull focus on the camera, and every shot you see at the end of the day is out of focus, it's my fault. It's nobody else's but mine. If the camera person moved a different way unexpectedly or whatever, and I didn't react in time, it's not the camera person's fault. It's my fault because I didn't pull focus, right? If it's my job to make sure that there are no bullets, no live rounds in a gun, and there are, it's nobody's fault but mine. Now, to be fair, if I'm getting handed the gun, it would probably be a good idea for me to double check it and make sure too. But if I'm trusting, maybe I don't. I don't know. On that said, it seemed like there were a lot of things that were kind of slipping, to be fair. And Alec Baldwin was one of the producers, if not the executive producer. I can't remember. But he was kind of the big dog in charge. Not only was he the lead actor, but he's like, let's go. I've seen the video from where it happened. Basically, he's like, let's go again. Give me another gun. Let's get it loaded. Let's go. And so I'm sure she felt rushed and she felt like she had to perform. And bless her heart, I feel bad for her in that regards. But at the end of the day, again, your sole purpose, your sole job is to make sure that they have the firearms they need and they are safe. Right. And she messed up. And 18 months, in my opinion, is light for what happened. Halyna Hutchins will never see her child again. Her child will grow up without a mother. And it's very, very sad. And it is a loss in the film industry. It's not too dissimilar. Speaking of which, me being a filmmaker and being from Georgia, they were doing Midnight Rider, which was the Allman Brothers biopic, I want to say, or maybe a Greg Allman biopic. I don't know, but Allman Brothers biopic. And slates for, I can't remember her name now. I feel terrible. But they did not go through the proper protocol to make sure there were no trains coming through on the track. And they had rigging on the train track to get some shots. A train came through and it killed one of the, I think, camera operators or grips. It killed one of them. And that was not that long ago. That was just a handful of years ago. Again, not following proper protocol. I mean, I know protocols and regulations and stuff like that are a pain in the ass and they get in the way and they slow things down, make things more complicated, but they're there for a reason. And so, unfortunately, this is the outcome. Someone lost their life. A lot of people have lost a lot of time from being not only productive, but of their own lives dealing with this. Literally just lost time because they've been embroiled in the cases or in jail or whatever. And then the mental and emotional impact that it had on them too. I mean, again, poor girl, I do think she was probably pressured to do what she did and to perform, but it's her job, it's her responsibility, and she failed.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.